Hello, future travelers. Welcome back to Legalopolis. In today's video, we'll understand how the United States immigration system works and the types of immigration statuses that a non US citizen can have. And so, let's get started. Now, friends, the law governing US immigration policy is called the Immigration and Nationality Act, and the US legal immigration system is built on four key principles, which are: number one, family reunification. Now, the system prioritizes keeping families together by allowing US citizens and lawful permanent residents to sponsor close relatives for immigration into the United States. Number two, economic contributions. Individuals with skills that support and strengthen the US workforce are welcomed, particularly in industries where there are labor shortages or specialized needs. Number three, humanitarian support. The US provides refuge and protection to people fleeing persecution, violence, or disaster through asylum and refugee programs. And number four, encouraging diversity. Through initiatives like the Diversity Visa Program, the system aims to ensure broader representation by welcoming immigrants from countries with lower rates of US immigration. And so, any visa or immigration status that is granted to a non citizen falls under the ambit of either one of these four categories. Now, let's look at the different types of immigration statuses that a non US citizen can acquire. The first is being a US citizen. Now, a US citizen is someone who was either born in the United States or became a citizen after living in the United States for 3 years. That is, if this person is married to a US citizen, else 5 years and completing the naturalization process. US citizens cannot be deported unless their citizenship was obtained through fraud. And becoming a US citizen allows these immigrants to work legally, receive certain public benefits, and sponsor close family members like spouse, child, parent to become legal residents or citizens too. Another immigration status is the conditional and permanent resident status. Now, first, let's understand the difference between conditional and permanent residence. A conditional green card allows you to live and work in the United States just like a regular green card, but it's only valid for 2 years. It's given in special cases and cannot be renewed. Before this conditional green card expires, you must apply to remove the conditions on your status at least 90 days before its expiration date. If you don't, you may lose your right to stay in the United States. Now, conditional green cards are usually given in two situations. Number one, marriage-based green card. If you are married to a US citizen for less than 2 years when your green card is approved, you'll get a 2-year conditional card. You'll need to file Form I-751 to prove that your marriage is real to receive a permanent 10-year green card. In simple terms, marriage-based green cards start as CPR if marriage is recent, then upgrade to a full LPR after proving that the relationship is genuine. The second situation is EB5 Investor Green Card. If you get a green card through the EB5 Investor Program, you'll first receive a conditional green card. You need to file Form I-829 to remove the conditions and prove that your investments created the required jobs. On the other hand, a lawful permanent resident is a person from another country who has been legally granted permission to live and work in the United States permanently. LPRs are commonly known as green card holders. Now, while they enjoy many of the same rights as US citizens, like the ability to work and travel freely within the United States, they are not US citizens and therefore cannot vote in federal elections. Now, there are three main ways to get permanent resident status. Number one, through family sponsorship. If you have close family in the United States who are citizens or green card holders, then they can sponsor you. Immediate family members of US citizens don't have to wait for a visa number, so their process is usually faster compared to the employment based immigration request. They have to apply by filling out Form I-130, which is Petition for Alien Relative. The second is through employment. A US employer sponsors you because of your job skills. And in some cases, people with extraordinary abilities like top scientists or artists can apply on their own for a green card without an employer. There's usually a waiting list based on your job type and the country of origin. Once your date becomes current, based on publication in the monthly visa bulletin, you can file your papers for adjustment of status and thereafter receive your green card or LPR. Another way to get a green card is through special immigration categories. People who flee their home countries because of persecution or danger may qualify as refugees or asylum seekers. A refugee is someone who applies for protection from outside of the United States. They are usually living in another country or a refugee camp and must be approved for entry into the United States before they arrive. Refugees go through the US Refugee Admissions Program and are screened thoroughly before being allowed to enter the country. An asylee, on the other hand, is someone who applies for protection after arriving in the United States or at a US border. They might have entered the country as well on a visa or without permission, but they request asylum because they fear going back to their home country will not be safe for them. In both these cases, the person must prove that they are fleeing persecution based on race, religion, nationality, political opinion, or for belonging to a particular social group. The main difference between a refugee and an asylee is where and when they ask for protection. And they can apply for a green card after living in the United States for 1 year of under this status. Then comes Special Immigrant Juvenile. This program protects minors in the United States who have been abused, abandoned, or neglected by their parents. Once approved, they may qualify for a green card. To apply for a green card, they must submit Form I-485, that is Application to Register Permanent Residence or Adjust Status, and they also need to include a copy of Form I-797. However, if they are submitting Form I-360 and I-485 at the same time, they don't need to include Form I-797. Another category is Violence Against Women Act petitioners. Now, this allows spouses, children, or parents who have suffered domestic abuse from a US citizen or green card holder to apply for immigration relief without the abuser's help or knowledge. These programs provide crucial protection for vulnerable individuals and offers them a chance to build a safer future in the United States. Then comes the third category, coming to the United States for a limited time, that is non-immigrant visa holders. Now friends, everyone who is coming to the United States is not planning to stay forever. Many people enter on temporary non-immigrant visas, which allows them to live in the United States for a specific purpose and a limited period of time. Common types of temporary visas are: number one, tourist visas, that is B1, B2 visas, which are for short visits, sightseeing, business meetings, or medical treatment. These visas do not permit work or long-term stays. The second category are student visas, which are issued to international students who are enrolled in United States schools, colleges, or vocational programs. Some of these programs allow limited work under very specific conditions. The third category are the work visas. These are meant for professionals, skilled workers, and company transfers. For example, H-1B, L-1, etc. These visas authorize employment but often have strict rules on changing jobs or extending stay in the United States. The K visa is also a non-immigrant visa for the fiancé or spouse of a US citizen. The K1 visa allows a foreign fiancé to come to the United States and marry the US citizen partner within 90 days. Friends, it's important for anyone coming on temporary visas to know that these visas always have an expiration date. You must leave when your visa status ends unless you apply for an extension or a change of status. Some of these visas allow a transition to permanent residency, but most do not automatically lead to a green card. And it's extremely important to understand that staying past your visa's expiration could result in bans from re-entering the United States in the future. So temporary visas are a great way to visit, study, or work in the United States, but they come with strict rules which must be respected and followed. And then we come to the fourth category of immigrants, which are the undocumented immigrants. Undocumented immigrants are people who are living in the United States without legal permission to live here. A person can become undocumented if they stay in the United States after their visa has expired, or if they entered the United States without going through an official border checkpoint, or if they violated the terms of their admission. This means they cannot stay in the country legally, work legally, or get benefits, and they can be placed in removal proceedings and deported if they are caught by immigration authorities or the police. So friends, that's all for today. I hope this video has made the different immigration categories and terms easier for you to understand. Whether you are applying for a green card, citizenship, or just exploring your options, knowing these paths is the first step towards making informed decisions. Friends, if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and do consider subscribing for more immigration related content. And until next time, safe travels!